Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com back for another Pittsburgh Steelers video. And today we are previewing and predicting the Steelers Week 8 showdown versus the Baltimore Ravens. Steelers coming to this game 6-0, Baltimore 5-1. And to preview the Ravens, they're coming off their bye week, and while their offense has not been as elitely potent the way it was last year, it's still a very good offense overall, led by Lamar Jackson and company. Don't think they're going to have running back Mark Ingram, but they still have Gus Edwards, the rookie running back J.K. Dobbins, who's got extreme speed and someone they've been using in 2-minute situations, which is awfully rare for a rookie to come in, and just overall a bevy of weapons and just a really tough team to go against. The run game is extremely multiple. Well, they'll run read option, they'll run inverted veer, they'll run bash. I mean, they will just throw the kitchen sink at you. And what Pittsburgh did in Week 17 last year, a game in which Lamar Jackson did not play, was RG3. They used a mesh charge where they would attack the mesh point and the quarterback every single time on a replay, even if the quarterback handed the ball off. There was always someone responsible for the quarterback and someone responsible for whoever the back was on that play, so that edge defender could not be read the way the read option works. So we'll see if Keith Butler employs that going forward. In the past game, things really run through Mark Andrews as tight end and second year wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown. Brown's a speedster, and Andrews, of course, is going to be the concern and threat in the red zone down the seam. Pittsburgh without Devin Bush, they're without UG3. How will they respond? What will be their dime package? And just overall, what will be the matchup against not only Lamar Jackson, spying him, although just a heads up, spying Lamar Jackson alone is not going to solve all the problems. Lamar can make anyone, even Devin Bush hypothetically, miss in space one on one. And then how do you match up against a tight end down the seam? Devin Bush, big interception down the seam against Baltimore last year in the first matchup. What's going to happen on Sunday? And the Ravens' offensive line is strong too. Now there are some weakness in the interior. I think Stephon Tuitt has a great matchup against rookie guard Tyree Phillips, who played tackle at Mississippi State. But the tackles are really strong with Ronnie Stanley on the left side, Orlando Brown Jr. on the right side. So this will be Bud Dupree and T.J. Watt's toughest task of the year. Last note on the Ravens offense, they do a good job of stressing secondary guys, safeties, and cornerbacks, and putting those defenders in conflict, whether those are with, dagger combinations and Mills combinations, digs and post routes behind. So if the safety comes up on the dig, they'll throw the post over the top, or they'll throw the seam down the middle if the safety wants to bite on something underneath. And so that's going to be critical for guys like Minka and Terrell Edmonds to have to defend against. And overall, I think this defense has to do a great job of having great eyes, great discipline, be able to rally to the football, finish plays, and be able to tackle the catch. Rush lane integrity of Lamar Jackson will be important too. I think in this game, you sacrifice a bit of the pressure in order to keep Lamar within the pocket. And so being able to stay disciplined, to do your job, but to not freelance too much, not have as many two-way goes as a pass rusher, I think will be key because you need to keep Lamar Jackson in the pocket. Defensively, the Ravens have improved from last year. They're one of the better defenses in football for sure. I think they're allowing the fewest points in football right now. And DC Wink Martindale to me is probably a top five defensive coordinator in the game. And they just keep adding talent, whether that's trading for Calais Campbell. They just traded for Yannick Ngakoue, who has 5 sacks this year with the Vikings. All the secondary pieces they have in terms of Marlon Humphrey, who could shadow Juju in the slot. Marcus Peters, Jimmy Smith if he plays, and even getting some good safety play despite the release of Earl Thomas earlier this season. So it's a group that's going to bring a lot of pressure, a lot of heat. They are first in blitz rate, even above Pittsburgh. Baltimore's blitzing about 46% of the time. Pittsburgh's around 44.5% of the time. So they're going to bring a lot of different kind of looks and really stress the offensive line, force the offensive line to communicate, be on the same page. They're going to show pressure. They're going to drop out. They're going to show pressure and bring all that pressure. And so just overall, Ben knowing where his heart is, the offensive line, being able to work inside out and pick up some of the exotic looks the Ravens are going to show, I think will be pretty important. Trying to attack the secondary is a bit tough to do on paper. They are an aggressive, more of a press man type of team, but they don't allow the deep ball a whole lot either. So I think you do try to situationally take some shots. I think you really have to scheme up some guys open, use some picks and rubs and man beaters and things like that to attack their man coverage. But I think really some of these young receivers like a Chase Claypool, like a Deontay Johnson, are going to have to up their physicality even more, be able to win off the line against press coverage, and make some really combat catch type catches. And can't forget about special teams either. The Ravens have two great specialists in Sam Cook and Justin Tucker, and those are guys that get you points when most teams wouldn't. Tucker 50 plus. He's so good from there, and Cook the punter does a great job of flipping the field. So the Steelers have to be able to match that from a field position points battle in terms of their specialist. Boz has been great this year, of course, and Jordan Berry needs to punt the way he punted last week. All right, for my prediction, and I know you guys are not going to like this one because I have the Ravens winning this one narrowly, and it's always close because it's Steelers Ravens 20-17 over the Pittsburgh Steelers, the first loss I think the Steelers will have of the season. And I know this won't be a popular one, but these games are always close, and I think just overall, Baltimore, they're coming off their bye week while Pittsburgh's coming off a very physical, tough game against Tennessee. They're battling some injuries. Granted, the Ravens are too, but not to the extent Pittsburgh is, and especially on now Plan C in terms of who that dime linebacker is going to be with Bush and UG3 out. And I know the Steelers defense did a great job against Lamar in Week 5 last year. I don't think Lamar's going to have a great game against Pittsburgh in this defense overall, but that run game is so multiple. They have such a threat of quarterback to be able to run. I think that presents a different challenge for the Steelers' run defense. And because the Ravens have made strides in the past game with Hollywood Brown, especially, and the Steelers secondary not playing quite as well as they have in the past. I think that's going to be a concern, and the Ravens defense has certainly improved as well. And I think they're going to give the Steelers a lot of fits in terms of the pressure looks that they're going to put together, especially on third down. So, like I said, going to be a close game. Just could easily see the Steelers win this one, but I'm going the other way, and I know people will not like that. But I think you got to be just honest about this stuff, and it's okay to pick against the Steelers, even if you hope that they do win and you hope that you're wrong. I certainly am, but sometimes you got to be objective about it and say the Steelers can't win every single game. If I picked them every single week, then I'd be essentially saying they're going 16-0, and that, of course, is unlikely to happen, even though they are still, of course, undefeated. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know who you think is going to win this game, Pittsburgh or Baltimore. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll talk to you soon.